Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome to part 2. Here we go. As always, if you haven't listened to part 1, do, because it will make much more sense. Today I want to talk in more detail as to why I am losing that part of the ladder of my offerings and what I'm replacing it with and why. So, as I mentioned yesterday, business goals used to sit at my 97 offer, offer. And this is not like the perfect way, and this is like the ladder sequence that you should have. This is simply has been my experience. But you may have different things on your ladder of how people can work with you. And actually, I know that there is enormous value at all stages. And so never ever think that you have to do something a certain way or you have to be the most expensive in your industry. This is all about value and really giving back and doing what it is that you are supposed to do in this world and serving and helping those people who could really benefit. Now, as I discovered as I did this process, lots of people never finished this course. And as I keep going forward, I always reconnect with my values. And one of those that I shared yesterday was really about helping people to get what they need. So they knew what they need to do next. And I believe that there's so many situations, especially in our adult life, that no wonder we have to make decisions all day long about what's happening, what's going on. And Matt had been away quite a lot in June, and which, is fine. It's part of work. It's part of our lives together. But I really noticed, and, I know that there are so many parents who are flying solo or single parenting or not maybe getting the support that they need. And I hear you 100%, because being that decision maker of your life or your children's lives, or people asking you, maybe you're that person in your friendship group who is making all the decisions or who's booking everybody's flights or whatever it is, or even in your work, it can feel like a huge responsibility. And there are definitely things that I have noticed in my life that I have set up systems to set myself up for success. And these have happened slowly but surely over the last few years. And maybe lockdown triggered this slightly in a way that there were certain things where I was like, wow. I know so many of us felt this, where we used to go and meet people all the time, and we used to travel across London or across the UK or across the world to go and have a meeting with somebody. Whereas you can do the thing and you can do it on Zoom, you can do it on WhatsApp, on video, you can do it on FaceTime. It's a lovely, lovely thing. And I've really noticed that over time, I have started to tighten up those things in my business and life, because I got to a point of being really overwhelmed, really tired. When the pandemic all kicked off, I had a young baby and a 3.5-year-old. Or maybe a 4.5-year-old. And it was full on. It was really, really full on. And so in looking and dissecting business goals, I noticed something, that by giving somebody all of the things, so I thought I was being really generous and kind and sharing my knowledge, giving 16 modules, like hours and hours of stuff to somebody. And the truth is, my belief is that was not necessarily being kind. In fact, it was opening more of a can of worms than they were ready for. It's almost that sense that, those moments where you need to book, or maybe you need to pack for a holiday or something. Maybe you haven't been away for a while, or you haven't worn the clothes that you're going to wear on that particular holiday. So you go into your room and you start to look for the things that you want. And some of them might be shoved to the back of the wardrobe. I mean, I'd love to say that we're all Insta-friendly the whole time with everything lined up and in Perspex boxes. But I bet things are not where you thought they might be. You might need to go up to the loft or into another cupboard, or maybe you've put something in a really random place that you're thinking, why did I put that there? But we are where we are. And that small task of packing for a lovely time away becomes a much bigger thing. And you look over to your bed and you're like, oh, bloody hell, I brought all that stuff out now. I've dragged all of that stuff. There's my hats and scarves. There's a weird fancy dress outfit. There's some bikinis I'm never going to wear or did wear. Why are they still in my, all of that stuff. And the thing is, at the end of that situation, you want to have the clothes that you're going to take with you on holiday. And the equivalent that I can now look back on business goals is saying, hi, I'm going to, sorry to sound so creepy. Hi, I'm going to come into your room and I'm going to help you pull out all the things for your holiday. But while I'm there, I'm going to go into every other room. I'm going to pull out all the things that you might need for no apparent reason or for no purpose. Now, can you imagine? I mean, I'm taking a big exhale now as I'm saying it to you. Can you imagine that feeling of like, oh my God, this woman, she just came into my house and she took everything out. She took it all out of the cupboards. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't think straight. That was the equivalent of business goals, because I thought I was being helpful by helping you delve into all of these areas. But what happened at the end of it was, A, you didn't get the complete solution that you needed, because how could you when I was offering so many things? Secondly, you were at a point where there was more questions than there were answers. Interesting. So that was something that came up for me. The next thing I realised was I wanted to give lots and lots of information and help and support, but I wanted it to be a non-negotiable in the way that you would actually do the thing. So here's where I describe what the new upgraded offering is now Business Goals has gone. And it's Jam and Plan. Now, Jam and Plan was it was a live event that I started in 2020. Wow, just lost 2 years of my life there. 2020. And it came a point where we were in lockdown. Many of us had to pivot. Many of us had maybe pivoted at that stage, or we'd sort of settled in. We were about 3 months into the pandemic. But everything was very uncertain. Everything was really confusing. But we still had that hot weather. We still had that sense of like, okay, well, let's just, do the things and let's just keep going and take one day at a time. But I knew from my community, I knew from people who were listening, I knew people that on my newsletter, people I was having conversations with, I knew that they needed some time for them. But at that time, people didn't have a capacity for a year-long container, nor did they have that sense of, I'm going to go to Bali for a fortnight and connect with my inner child and do that work. And I'm not belittling that work at all. It is so, so valuable. But when you're in a pandemic and maybe you're looking after people and maybe looking after ill people or yourself and trying to earn money and trying to homeschool and trying to do all the things, you didn't have that luxury of being able to have that time and space. What you needed to do was to be able to go, right, okay, I got to figure this out. Let's go. What am I going to do? Okay. And so when I offered this 4-hour experience, And I even put, because I felt like we all needed that nurturing at the time, it's 4 sessions, 9:30 till 10:30, break for snacks. And I actually had that on the sales page. 11 till 12, session 2, and then break for lunch, 12 till 1. And then as it went on, and we were done by 3:30. And also the recordings were up within 24 hours. So if people were like, sorry, I got to go because I work the mornings and my partner works the afternoons, and then we switch and we have a ham sandwich at lunchtime, and that's the way we're rolling at the moment. Great, go and do the things that you need to do. So I knew from that point of view that people needed answers and they needed it quickly. And the beauty of the end of that day was that people would get to the stage where they could finally take a deep breath and go, I know what to do. I know what to do. Right. All right. And it was the equivalent of almost having that energy to bring your family or bring your workforce or your colleagues or whatever it might be, and bring them in a circle and hold hands and go, right, I've got this. I know what we're doing here. I know where we need to go next. And it was so brilliant. And since then, I have run the event of Jam and Plan several times afterwards and loved it. Loved it every time. So many of the attendees have gone on to do brilliant things. Some have come back to work with me one-on-one. And it was just a brilliant offering at the perfect time. And it was great. And this is a really long pause. Okay, and now let me say where it's going here. When I look at my goals, when I look at my portfolio career, my values, my capacity, my time, etc. Wow, I'm really taking you behind the scenes, aren't I? I'm going to be sharing my last 3 digits on the back of my card in a minute. I don't want to be an event planner. I do not want to be an event planner. I don't want to be one of these people getting bums on seats and doing the back and forth of like, this is what the thing is. Make it if you can. Hi. I don't want to be in sales mode. That is not my zone of genius. People train to become events. I think they do a degree called event management or something like that. I am not an event planner. I just want to do the thing. I just want to show up and help people. And so I knew that this content was fantastic, but I don't want to spend all my time and energy selling places, because the thing is, I know the thing is really great. And so what I would rather do is talk to you here for free and then point you in the direction of Jam and Plan. And you can watch it whenever you like and enjoy it. And here's what I want to say also of having something that you can access whenever you need. And some coaches would say, unless you sign up for the thing and you show up live, it's not going to be meaningful to you and you're never going to do the thing. And I am going to call bullshit on that. Sorry, I hesitated then because I was like, do I swear? I'm going to swear. So hopefully the pause was enough if you had small ears around. I am going to call that out because there have been certain times where I believe, and I believe it for you as well, if I want to do the thing, I will do the thing. And I will have the self-discipline to be able to action that thing and to get it done and to do it in my time and in a way that works for me. And as I mentioned yesterday, giving you that beautiful image of me just sitting in my pants and having to be rolled over like a big rock by my partner, I've had 2 children in the last nearly 7 years. I've been at home a lot. I've had to work in creative ways to get the things done that I've needed to get done. And so when people say, unless you show up live, you're not serious, it's just their own stuff. It's a limiting belief, because I believe if you want to do the thing, you will make time for it. Equally, sometimes we can have the thing and everything's perfect And, you know, it's like the drinks on the Friday night in the mum's WhatsApp group, or maybe your friends saying, let's go for lunch or let's do things. Even if you have the capacity, you will always have people falling off and saying, oh, I can't make it. Sorry, I've got too much work on, or whatever. So to say that you only have to do things live is simply not true. I promise you. And so this Jam and Plan 4 sessions sits beautifully in this £97 offer, which is ultimately where I'm getting to with this. Because how it differs to business goals is that it goes into 4 sessions. But by the end of the 4 sessions, you'll know what to do because I know it works. I've done the process live with so many groups of people. And I've seen it. I've seen that knock-on effect because these people have become clients. And I've got nearly, more than 2 years of evidence where people are still coming back going, I did that thing. I'm now working in a different way. I don't work for free anymore. I've now launched that retreat that I wanted to, etc., etc. So I've seen 2 years of evidence of people actually doing the thing from this process. Now, from my speaking event, and then again, this is another reason why you have to connect all parts of you and your business. I've seen from some of my speaking events, and I've been a professional speaker for, since I was 16. That's when I started getting paid for these sorts of things. So, 25 years. Is that right? No. 25 years. And this has been really interesting to me because there will be some people that will come to my live speaking things and they will want to share everything. They'll want to tell you, they'll want to give an example. They are more than happy to put their hand up. They're not worried about being vulnerable, and I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but from their perspective, they are more than happy to stand up in a room full of people and say, this is how I feel, this is what I'm going to do next. They want to talk to me afterwards, they want to send me an email, and they're in it. They are in it. But I also know that there are some people in that room who don't say a word, who don't say anything. And they are also giving me those looks of, Nikki, you dare bloody pick on me. I'm going to leave this room and I'm not going to say anything. You can't make me. And I know that now. I know that there are different energies also. And so I wanted to create something around that price point that people could do from the privacy of their own home. If they wanted to be heavily pregnant and in their pants and sweating like I don't know what, great. You can do that. This is accessible. If you are somebody like me who likes to learn and walk, you can listen to the audio version because I've recorded it as a video and I've also recorded it as an audio. Excuse me. So that's how I was thinking in that. But then those people who want to say, okay, here's what I found in session 1. Here's what I wanted to ask you about session 3. Here's what I found in the money section in session 2. Do you think I should do this or I should do this? I've added on an Ask Me Anything. So in that bit of my pricing ladder offering now, I have 2 offerings, I guess, that sit on there. I have the Jam and Plan online course that you can get. So it's 4 sessions, 4 hours. You can listen to it. You can do it in a day. You can do it in a couple of evenings, but you will do it. I really hope you'll do it. But you know what I mean? Like, you're setting yourself up for success because you can find 4 hours. I mean, how many box sets have we all watched? You can find 4 hours. You can have it on in the morning while you get dressed, like just you'll find it. You'll find the time. And then, so you can purchase that for $97. And then you can do an Ask Me Anything 45-minute session, which you can add on, which is $247. So adding the 2 together is a really great thing. So 150 quid extra. If you want to be somebody who then wants to go, and here's what we found, and where do I go next, and be able to ask me anything. So that feels really good to me. And I know this might be a bit TMI, taking you behind the scenes, but you know what? I'm going to do it because we need to talk about this stuff. We need to talk about why we do it. And we need to talk about it in this way of what feels good. I know everybody wants to hang their hat on trends or what people should do it. And there are so many blogs and coaches and people saying, if you want to succeed in 2022, you've got to do these 3 things. No, we know we're human beings with so many nuances. We know there are more than 3 ways to create success. We know this. And so allow yourself to create the pricing that you want to create that feels really good. I tell you what, once you feel good, and once I know, this is another thing as well, your energy doesn't just stop at the creation of something. Your energy and who you are and the work that you're getting is always working itself out there. And so for me, I know that people always talk about I made 7 figures of sales this month, today. I don't know, whatever thing that they might claim. But my question is, but are these people happy? Are they getting results? Are you doing what you said that you would do? Are they making progress? What's happening after the point of sales? And this is a really lovely call to action to always think about. And I do this all of the time in terms of my speaking, that I always say at the end, if you just absorb the information that I'm taking and don't implement it, if I just motivate you, that's only half of my job done. I want somebody to go, right, great, I know what I'm doing, mate, off I go, see ya. They don't almost have time to chat at the end. I'm not going to stay for a drink. I'm going to jump in the car. I'm going to get going because I want to process. I want to think about, that is the best energy for me. Great. Get in your car, get on the motorway, think about your ideas, do what you need to do. So that's what it is. I have some spaces before I close down for a little holiday for the Ask Me Anything part of this. So you can get Jam and Plan immediately. It's brilliant. It is brilliant. Read the testimonials, read what people have to say about it. We go really deep. But again, I'm not sharing formulas. I'm asking those questions. I'm getting you to do the exercises so you can really figure out what the Jeff you're doing for the second half of the year. And that is £97. That's it, £97. And you're going to get so many answers. But if you do want to see me face-to-face, one-on-one to go, right, I've done the thing. And I do recommend actually that you do watch Jam and Plan before we have our session together. You can meet me in person. I'm a member of the Soho House group. So, of course, we can find one of those Soho studios or we can do it online. I can record it for you. You can revisit whenever you like. But I only have limited spots before I go away because I am going to have a couple of days to myself before I take a holiday to sort my eyebrows out and the rest, buy a swimming costume, because the ones that I have, this is a whole other story. I'm not going to go into it. But basically, if you want to be in that energy of okay. If you want to sort out your packaging, your pricing, what you're doing, where you're going next, get in touch. hello@nikkiraby.com. Obviously, if I only have limited spots, so let me know. I hope you found this useful. It's a juicy one for the weekend, but as I say, I wanted to give it to you now. Also, I didn't even share the link to Jam and Plan. Let's do that. nikkiraby.com/jam and plan. Any questions? As always, email me hello@nikkiraby.com. I love you. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.